we will present to you our capstone project, the Blue Carbon Credit Fund Model, an impact-first and financing scheme towards mangrove preservation and sustainability in Del Carmen, Siargao. Just a short introduction for Capstone project. Mangrove forest is important because they serve as a carbon sink. Mangrove forest can store a greater amount of carbon dioxide than any other ecosystem in the planet. Compared to other forests, mangrove forests can absorb almost 10 times more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This makes them a crucial tool in mitigating the effects of climate change. As we deep dive in our problem analyses from our research on related literatures, conduct of learning trips, and focus group discussions, we have clarified our problem statement, which is the threat of mangrove forest degradation in Del Carmen, Siargao. That is mainly due to anthropogenic activities affected by climate change, coastal development, flourishing aquaculture, and agriculture by the coastal communities, some illegal acquisition of timber for domestic use, tourism, and pollution. When we also did our in-depth analysis, we saw the opportunity in this capstone project since Del Carmen has one of the largest contiguous areas of mangrove forest, which has the potential of having adequate blue carbon sequestration that can be used for blue carbon credit feeding. The awareness and the importance of mangrove forests among the constituent is high in the municipality, posing as an advantage to proceed with the Impact First initiatives. Having considered all variables in our capstone project, we have developed a framework called Blue Carbon Credit Fund Model. Its objective is to be as a standardized framework for blue carbon fund utilization. It has three main pillars. The first pillar is the techno-economic pillar, which tackles the technical and economic side of the blue carbon credit. Under this pillar is the study of blue carbon measurement, blue carbon pricing and accounting, and its economic impact to Del Carmen, Siargao. The second pillar is a political legal, which tackles about the current institutional mechanism on blue carbon economy. It includes revisiting the available national bills and laws, local resolution and ordinances, as well as implementing rules and regulations. The third one is the socio-environmental pillar that presents information on the people's organizations, livelihood incentivization program, and the potential social and environmental transformation that blue carbon credit can provide to the coastal communities of the Carmen, Siargao. This framework is aligned with Sustainable Development Goals, with mainly SDG 13 climate action, and coincidentally, SDG 18 decent work and economic growth, 11 sustainable cities and communities, and 12 responsible consumption production, 14 life below water, and SDG 17 for partnership for the goals.
Our capstone analysis involves a model evolving in three phases. The first phase, where most of the group's accomplishments were expended, had addressed, as of the moment, the technical assessment in partnership with the Philippine Coast Guard and the Philippine Marine Universities. We had also addressed the accreditation of the blue carbon credits through collaboration agreement that is now ongoing with the MOA, with the organizations such as the UBA Institute, Villander through Civica. Next, the Blue Carbon Fund Selling Issuance Framework and proposal of the initial socio-environmental program as our proxy and pilot intervention to jumpstart the project is also part of the phase 1. For phase 2, which we will actually pass to the next cohort, which is the implementation stage, it responds to the actual accreditation of the blue carbon credit in Siargao, the passing and approval of the blue carbon legislations, which we have right now, the institutionalization of the blue carbon bond selling and issuance, as well as the establishment of the Fishermen's Cooperative for the Bantay Bakawan flagship program, which we also outlined. And then for phase 3, it will now focus on the monitoring and evaluation to assess the possible improvements that can still be employed as this model moves forward. This includes impact evaluation with stakeholders, the financial target review, the coastal community's quality of life metrics, the mangrove preservation status, and above all, the overall impact evaluation measurement to justify replication to other communities. The next slide will show that using the Fishermen's Cooperative intervention, under the Bantay Bakawan project, a feasibility study was conducted. Initial capitalization involves the purchase of motorboats that will be used for patrolling, as well as tourism, as well as the cost for accreditation and valuation of the carbon credits, totaling to an equal of 1.7 million. Revenues, as assumed, will come from the blue carbon bond selling 1,000 hectares in year 1, and then year on year thereafter in the next 5 years. No, this is we are anticipating an annual income of about 1 billion per annum. That includes additionalities such as tourism and mangrove planting. The income statement now, if you look at it, shows high profitability of the project. So presently, the municipality of Del Carmen has an annual revenue of about 100 million pesos. By participating in the blue economy, the local government has a potential earning 10 times more of its present annual revenue, which we saw equal to the annual revenue of Cebu. Next, please. We also did a feasibility study that actually shows the projected cash flow. And based on the assumption as detailed, there is a much overflowing cash flow that could be used for social impact project. Then we proceeded with the sensitivity analysis for the next slide. And this actually shows a high yielding sustainable project looking at the NPVs, IRRs, payback, and discounted payback period at a high rate. In conclusion, to conclude the Blue Carbon Fund model, it is a very effective framework to address the climate change using mangroves, seagrasses, and other ocean deposits, which is not yet implemented in the Philippines. The 4,871 hectares of mangrove in Del Carmen, Siargao Island is computed to have a total of 7 million megagrams of carbon per hectare, valued at an estimated $91 million to $244, depending on the price range that it will be offered. So the Blue Carbon Credit Fund model pilot project, which we will call the Bantay Bakawan, being proposed for the Siargao Mangrove Preservation, is very feasible with an NPV of 5.4 billion and an IRR of 15,671%. Three components of the framework must be addressed to implement the Blue Carbon Fund model. These are the techno-economic, political, legal, social, environment.
As far as our recommendations are concerned for the next cohort, in terms of the techno-economic pillar, please use RSS blue carbon measurement, blue carbon pricing, accounting that proves its economic potential impact as a baseline for further blue carbon economy technical research and economic feasibility. Using this evaluation, fisherfolk families in Del Carmen are projected to achieve their desire to receive at least 10,000 pesos additional monthly in terms of social amelioration programs to be facilitated by the local government because of the significant potential of revenues generated from this scheme. For the political legal pillar, we recommend the development of a national framework for the blue economy. This requires legislation, inputs from relevant stakeholders, and presidential approval. While the Marcos administration has already signified its interest to pursue legislation towards this end, local government units already possess and can exercise corporate powers towards the fulfillment of these objectives. Local chief executives, governors, and mayors, in consultation with the local councils, may already pursue initiatives to strengthen fundamentals in preparation for the entry into the blue economy, such as investments in relevant infrastructure, regulatory measures for coastal areas and waterways, as well as strategic utilization of the DRM funds. Lastly, there is a need for alignment with the comprehensive multi-sectoral development plans and strategies developed by the DILG, particularly on climate change adaptation, people's empowerment, and the environment. We have come up with a playbook to assist LGUs in establishing and strengthening local frameworks for their participation in the blue economy. Meanwhile, for the socio-economic pillar, we recommend establishing continued collaboration in the following interventions: opportunities for seed granting, increased awareness on the importance of mangroves, deepen knowledge and expand capacity for fisher folks, continue the Bantay Bakawan, and provide alternative livelihood opportunities to reduce impacts on the marine ecosystem.
Having been able to recommend in accordance with the 3 Blue Carbon Credit Fund model, it is also important to determine the impact evaluation metrics to assess the progress and effectiveness of the model and possibly improve it moving forward. We have identified 3 impact results: high, medium, and low, whereas per description of activities, there are key performance index indicators that are valued and measured that coincides with the target, responsible stakeholder, and when it will be evaluated. This tool is clear, measurable, comprehensive, that allows to review the benefits of the model and changes it has made. With that, with our ways forward being Asian Institute of Management as the initial driver of this initiative, can continue the IFI work by proposing to the upcoming MDM cohort to do a blue carbon credit playbook using the Blue Carbon Credit Fund model as a starting point. There can also be an inter-school collaboration with Zuilig School of Development Management with other AIM schools to further widen the reach and the clamor for the urgency of the initiatives and explore further research and incubation with other AIM centers. As for us in our Capstone group, our ways forward are to continue working with Civica in the Blue Economy and Social Finance Labs as fellows. We will also pursue ADB for an exploratory meeting that may open opportunities for other blue carbon initiatives in the Philippines. This is a fruit of our brown bag discussion that we did last September 17, 2023. Our next meeting schedule is set to be held coming Friday, November 17. Also, we will continue to collaborate with UBA Sustainability Institute regarding mangrove preservation funding. As a matter of fact, we are now exploring the possibility of having an agreement with them and reviewing its viability with lab convener. Ultimately, our Blue Carbon Credit Fund model shows validity, practicality, replicability, and scalability not only in Siargao Island but also in other areas of the country. With that, we would like to take this opportunity by thanking our lab conveners, Prof. Dan Songko, Prof. Manny De Vera, and especially Prof. Joey Camu for guiding us throughout the creation of this Blue Carbon Fund model. Our Civica advisor, Dr. Elmer Soriano, our panelist, Attorney Boc Labastilla, and the LG of Del Carmen Siargao, represented by Mayor Alfred Coro Jr., for accommodating us in a beautiful island. And finally, our IFI group mates and our MTM cohorts.
In the blue economy, together, let us create ripples of opportunity and ride the waves of change for a sustainable future. This is the Blue Carbon Credit Fund model, an impact first financing scheme towards mangroves reservation and sustainability in Del Carmen, Siargao Island. Thank you very much.